Niños, escuchen estas palabras mientras que salen.
No listening if you're under the age of 18. That's right, folks, especially if you are my children. This is not for children, okay? I'm tired of not being able to walk past preschools, okay? I'm trying to get from a level 3 to a level 1. Hashtag sex offender by accident. Don't poop in a sandbox. No listening if you're under 18. Goodbye. Thank you.
Niños, escuchen estas palabras mientras que salen de mis labios agrietos. El siguiente programa, aunque esto sea muy divertido para toda la gente, no es para los niños. Como un burro que busca agua fría, un balde, y eso le va a dar toda la satisfacción que necesita, esta agua no es para ustedes. Por favor, vayan donde sus padres. Ayúdelos a limpiar los baños. No vayan a escuchar esto. Es muy importante. Que Dios nos bendiga a los Estados Unidos. Gracias.
We're live.
Now that is what I call production value.
Right?
Fucking A. Adam Hineker, god damn it. You are the gift that keeps on giving.
We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're live. Now, welcome to the show. This is the Brian McCarthy interview show. And if you are watching, you're on YouTube or Facebook. And if you're listening, it's a podcast. And I don't if you're a long time I don't like the word fan listener of this friend of the show.
Pod pal.
Made
it like 300 times worse.
Pod pal sounds like dolphin enthusiast.
Yeah.
But you've noticed a little bit of changes. We put the disclaimer on front. We put the little bit of the graphic and the music and everything. So
we're basically doing it all live.
We're doing the whole show live. It will still be archived, and if you're listening, this is still for you. Who cares? It's still just a podcast, and you're listening. But so that is the difference. And then I don't know. Should we just try to explain how the YouTube thing works? Or
yeah, so let's do it at the top of the show so people can have time to get their memberships if they want. So we're gonna do the bonus shows. We're gonna start or continue to do live.
Right.
But we're doing it for YouTube members.
Yes.
Since you're already on YouTube.
So you'll be here, listen to the show. Obviously, no commercials because who wants to support this? Commercial free by no fault of our own. We had the one gummy thing, and that didn't work out too well. So so we'll do the show for an hour. The show's always going to start at 12:30 moving forward. We will endeavor to make it 12:30. Boom, there you go.
Gotta be on a schedule.
Once the show is over, which would be 1:30-ish, 1:35, something like that, we'll take a quick break. Adam and I will go in the other room and kiss for a little bit. And at 1:45, we're going to come back, and it's another live show. And that'll be a 45-minute, hour-long show. And if you're a member of the YouTube channel, then you will get access to that extra show. So, and then also, if you're a member of the YouTube, then that stuff will also be archived for you in the members area. And if you're on Patreon, that is effectively the Patreon stuff that you get anyway. Patreon is where all the archive stuff lives. So there's like 300 hours, 300 plus, maybe 350.
Boy, yeah. We're on episode 292 now.
Yeah, isn't that something? That means in another 108 will be at 400.
Yeah.
Look at that. So
that's how math works.
So it's all kind of living on your screen if you're watching, and that's what all the new stuff is. And certainly we have super chats and whatever else. But Adam,
we got that too.
Adam put it all together. So
right.
So welcome. We're here. We're queer. I wanted to open the show. Speaking of products, I'm always looking for ways to remove hair from my genitals. And I found something, and this made me really happy because sometimes you look at these products on Instagram and you're like, I don't know, that's not gonna work. That's you call this a stun gun, it's just like a curling iron with a piece of barbed wire on it, but it's from China, so good luck getting your money back. So somehow I saw something called No Hair Crew, and again, it's not a sponsor. So I made a point of taking a picture of the bottle because I gave one of these to Adam. What I've been using is that little, it's called Manscaper, but it's not, it's like it looks like one of those little lady green razors, but it's black, because it's for men.
Sure.
And it's, that thing is great. You buy that with this testicle cream that you rub on your, balls, and you shave your own, and it's fine. It's great. I do it like 3 times a month, or maybe, and but you have to make sure that like you have new razors, right? Over the years, have you bought new razors for that thing?
I haven't needed to. No.
Oh my God.
No.
Wow, you must have leathery balls because
Well, I don't shave that often.
Okay.
I clean it up.
Okay.
How often did you do?
Well, until when they start getting curly at the top,
Gotcha.
then I get in there, and I feel like those.
Yeah, I only get in maybe once a month.
Okay. Well, Jesus, even still, that seems like because they say
these puppies are sharp still.
On the Manscaper, they say, well, maybe they're just trying to sell you razors, but it says like once every 4 shaves. So I have been doing that. Okay, so that's fine. So maybe if you crunch the numbers, you've had yours for about a year, maybe a little under, but so, and it's been fine. And I haven't really, it kind of ended my search for something to take care of that. It was like, all right, I can handle this. And if anybody's ever, nervous or afraid about shaving your balls, like, no, it's fine. It's actually fine. It's really not a big deal. Like it's not like you're going to nick your ball and like all the ball juice is going to pour out and you're going to, so your life essence is going to go down the drain or anything. It's fine. I've never had a nick, and trust me, I get in there too. Like, and
I've done it. I've had a nick with an electric razor.
Yeah, oh yeah, electric, no good, no good.
Yeah, you got to be very careful.
Right. So I'm on Instagram watching, kids with Down syndrome hug strangers, and everything else is in my algorithm.
All the feel good,
all the stuff that I
material.
Enjoy. Yeah, exactly. And then it comes up. It says like no hair crew, and it's basically like really hot guys, and they're like basically, well, look, what is it? It's Nair for men, okay, essentially. But I know, and they go, but they have 2 versions of it. They have no hair for men for the groin area, then they have no hair for men for your chest, arms, whatever else. So it made me think. I was like, you know what, if the fact that there are 2 different products for 2 different parts of your body somehow for me gives this product some validity. So I pulled the trigger, and you can buy it on Amazon. So I went on Amazon, I found it, I bought it, showed up 2 days later, and I was due for a shaving. So I said, I'm just going to go in the shower, and I'm just going to, and it's, what you do is comes in a little tube, right? Maybe, I don't know, 6 ounces or something.
That's something
right?
You can use in the shower?
Well,
I feel like this is an infomercial, but,
I know.
but wait, no, tell me more.
Right. Judith Light. Is that, wait a minute. Is it supposed to burn? Only when it's working.
Yes.
Yeah. So here's what it is. You go in the bathroom, right? Because I read the directions. To go in the bathroom, it comes with this little like a little putty thing, right?
And spackle.
Like a spackle. Yeah, exactly.
But it's like you're spackling.
It's plastic, right? And you take a little of it out. Not very much. I'm telling you, like, I don't even know the measurement, but it's like a squirt and a squirt on your fingers, and you rub it into wherever you're going. You don't want hair down there. And I went everywhere. I went in the affected area. Right. Exactly. The as they call it, the follicle zone.
Sure.
And you put it all over there. But again, it's not a lot. You just put it in there, and then you ask your phone to set an alarm for 4 minutes, and then you use that little spackle thing, and you use that as if you were shaving. So you go in the opposite direction of it, and it says that the hair will just come right off. And then it says jump in the shower with hot and soapy water, and while you are washing your balls, I'm sorry to use such harsh language, then any of the regular hair that didn't come off with the putty thing will just come right off. And I'm half convinced I'm going to put this on and end up in the hospital. But when I tell you, I used the putty thing, I jumped in the shower, and they were unbelievably smooth, and no irritation, no sticking to my leg, no, I don't know, sores, no anything. Completely clean and smooth. I mean, it's wild.
Wow.
Like porn star balls. And I'm talking top, not just because most bottoms have hairy balls. Am I right? So anyway, again, it's not a sponsor, but it was enough of an experience with this product that I wanted to encourage you. So promo code Adam. So that's what it is. So that's what I recommend. And that is the experience that I had. Hold on for 1 second. Hey, everybody, we're doing the thing. Will you take them in the other room, please? Love you. Thank you. Okay. It's the summertime.
America's
folks.
dad. Brian McCarthy, America's dad.
Yeah. Hey, let me get back to putting hot cream on my balls.
Yes.
Hey, girls, daddy one. Luckily, we have another whole side of the house, and it has it is the bedroom wing. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And so they go over there, they close the door, and they can't hear. So we're fine. Don't worry about it.
Can't hear nothing.
And it's almost the end of the summer. I know we make these shows evergreen. Couple more things to pick up before we get into it, like as if there's business. But on October 28th, 2024, we have Laugh for Sight.
Where you going up?
Yeah, where do you go up, folks? Where do you go up?
Brian's going to go up.
Do you do privates? The answer always, by the way, is yes.
I forget.
Yeah.
Somebody somewhere on social media this week.
Yeah.
That asked if somebody did privates.
Yep. You got to ask them that.
Makes me laugh every time.
The thing that makes me laugh is they always do, and you're just reminding them. You're essentially saying, "So, are you a prostitute?
How many roses?"
Yeah, exactly.
Unmarked envelope with my roses.
Can I get a CBJ? And she immediately knows that's a condom blowjob. She immediately knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I thought that was like something a long haul trucker used.
No,
communicate with.
Well, by the way, if you're with a lot lizard, it better be a CBJ, or you're going to get HIV. Yeah. So
fun with initialisms.
So yeah, you sit there with these
fun with letters.
Porn girls. You go, so in addition to doing all this horse shit, you also fuck for money, right? Like off a camera. And they're always like, yeah.
Crazy that all of them that's a thing. I've looked a few gals up just to, kick some tires.
I'll do it.
Just in case I find myself in a situation where I'm have an afternoon free and I'm in Nevada.
Aren't you I'm fairly convinced that if you have enough money, you can pretty much reach out and just fuck anybody. Like,
oh yeah.
Listen, let's
100%.
say, yeah, like let's say I wanted to fuck Elizabeth Shue, like from Adventures in Babysitting. I guarantee if I was some like sultan, I could sit there in my perfumed, musky antechamber. Yeah. And have some sort of, they come in, they go, salam, salam. And I literally I pause leaving Las Vegas and I'm like, that one there. I want to have sex with that one. Right. And they go, Nicolas Cage. And I go, well, yes, but not now. First the girl. Bring me the girl.
The one in the fun shirt.
Yeah. They're
with the big nose.
Yeah, they're like, salam, salam. You realize she's 65. I care not for that. It is merely the experience of it.
I mean, I know you can get personal appearances from anybody. If you have, I don't know about sex. I mean, it's just a higher price point.
Yeah, it's upset.
I mean, like there was that documentary recently from a guy, a guy in Singapore that he embezzled a bunch of money or something from the government.
Okay,
some fund in the government.
Okay,
and he was using it to fund Hollywood productions.
Sure.
I want to say he funded The Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh,
possibly.
Wow. That's great.
But his birthday party would be like Britney Spears and I don't know, Elizabeth Shue.
Well,
Elizabeth's Shue.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Which he paid top dollar for.
Who's your husband? Tom McCann?
Right.
Yeah. So what I think is the funniest thing about that is one of my good friends is a percussionist for high-end like Manhattan weddings, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, that kind of thing. And there's a ton of money in those. And a lot of times you can get a musician to perform at these events. You know what I mean? Like, so he worked one time and they had Bon Jovi performing.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a half an hour set for $100,000. Yes. Okay. And here's the best part about it. It was an acoustic set, his choice, none of the hits. So instead of coming out there and doing like Living on a Prayer or It's My Life, even, which is one of the shittier older, actually, is that even Van Halen? It's My Life.
No, that's
okay.
Bon. John Bon. That's Bon Jovi.
This is a song for the broken hearted. Oh, no. Something like that. Yeah. Instead of doing those, I think he literally came out and he was like doing like stuff from like, I don't know, madrigals from the 15th century. And he did it for a half an hour, apparently start to finish. He stopped, got right back on the jet that they provided for him, and just went back to fucking Colts Neck or wherever he lives in New Jersey. And I guarantee, and he got paid $100,000, like probably in cash. And that's well, it's like when there's this summer concert program that they have out in East in the Hamptons. And what it is you spend, I think it's $100,000 for the summer, and you get tickets to, it's either 5 or 10 private performances.
Ooh.
And they are like, and you go to someone's home. So like, let's say you buy, I don't know, like I said, maybe it's 5 performances, and because 10 seems like a lot. Let's say you get 5, it's $100,000. So you pay $20,000 each, you and your wife or whatever it is, and you go, and it's only another 99 or 98 people that are in the room, and you see Billy Joel, or you see some top tier A-list, whoever it would be, typically somebody that would be like in it'd be funny if you do it and it's ICP.
Oh my god, gathering of the juggalos in my
you just have 2 juggalos,
formal dining room.
They're like, child arrived just the other day.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, but
I would go to that.
But the funniest thing was, apparently this is a Howard Stern story, so I'm sorry, but like apparently he went and they had Prince on this thing, but Prince demanded that they turn all the lights off, so he did it completely in black, and he wouldn't. Isn't that funny? I know, I'm a fucking asshole. And he would not face the audience, so he basically turned his back. Yeah, and he turned his back, pitch black, and did like, I don't know what he did. I'm sure he probably did his hits because he couldn't resist.
The owner of the house had to jog in place the entire time.
Right. Yeah, where's
you gotta, I'll do it, but you gotta do jumping jacks.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. You got an ab roller? You got to use your ab roller. Well, find one on Craigslist. They sell ab rollers. Use an ab roller. Okay, so that's what's going on. But getting back to it, October 28th, Laughter Site. If you're going to be in New York, there'll be more information as we get closer to, but it looks like a pretty good lineup. So far, we have Michael Vecchione, very funny guy.
Michael.
Right.
Has he gotten more formal nowadays?
Yeah. Well, he wants to be called Michelangelo Vecchione. He's getting very Italian in his old age. Yeah.
Really leaning into it.
Poor guy. I ran into him. I was at Joe DeRosa's birthday party on Saturday, and I ran into him, and that's when I asked him to do the benefit. I always get such, and he's a nice guy, and I've known him for a long time. And I didn't feel badly about asking him to do it, because he's done other things and he's been paid for them. Like we know each other, and there have been times when I've done things and I've paid him $500 or $300 or whatever it is. And so and he's a very, very nice guy, but I did kind of corner him at the party, and I was like, hey, I got a benefit October 28th. And then he just checked his calendar.
Sure.
And he was like, all right, I can do it.
He didn't say, oh, I got a baby shower pepper chef party.
Well, what's awkward is when someone goes, they can't do it. And then if you remember, you go in and then check their calendar on their website and they're just open. And you're like,
well, they could be like, oh, I'm doing a private.
No, I choose to take it personally.
I could do it. You go out of your way to take it personally.
Listen, it's a Monday. It's a fucking Monday night.
Sure.
Like, it's a Monday night a month and a half in advance. Right. Like, what are you up to? You know what I mean? Like,
where are you going up?
It's a baby shower on Monday night. Right. Like, would they get a good deal on the room at Applebee's? Sure. Like, so anyway, so he confirmed. And then TJ Miller was at the party, who I've never met. I don't think I've met anyway, but, and he was there, and he's a big guy. And he was wearing like an ill-fitting seersucker suit, like, but the other way, like a giant, like it was way too big for him. And he had a cummerbund, like it was a look. He was definitely rocking like a middle of the day, at a party kind of thing look. And then I was wearing a pair of brightly colored pants and an Irish linen shirt. So he immediately was like, I know, the Midwestern, I like your pants or whatever.
Well, he loves his sight gag. He's so you guys you have that in common.
Hey, if being handsome is a sight gag, I guess I'm Carrot Top. So anyway, I don't know him at all. So this was a little dicier. And I went up and I was like, look, I hate to ask you this, but
just went straight in for the ask, or you guys were talking?
We were talking a little bit, and also when I went in, Joe gave me a big hug and a kiss, and I brought presents for Joe.
Okay, you made an entrance.
Like I think it was in a weird. I was sort of validated. I don't know if he thought I was ready for it, a civilian or not, but he knew that I knew Joe, and so I seemed like I was someone. And I knew Paulie, and there were some other people that I knew, and so it was like I was clearly someone who was in the crowd for better or for worse. I mean, I could have been like Joe's chiropractor or whatever.
Sure.
But good luck fixing that posture. But and anyway, so yeah, so I did ask him, and he was great about it. He pulled his phone out and he was like, all right, I'm in town. He was like, just get my number from Joe and I'll do it. And I said, okay, so I'm locking you in. He goes, I'm locked. Fine. And then we just dropped it. I wasn't going to be like, it's for blind. We raise, who cares?
Sure.
I mean, it's like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's a benefit.
Yeah. And then another girl who I was talking to who had tattoos, and she was this little white girl. She opens for Joe. And of course, I can't remember her name right now, but she's going to open the show. And I just said to her, hey, you want to do the show?
Caitlin something, right?
Yeah, Caitlin. That's right.
Yeah.
It's Caitlin. It's actually her name. Caitlin something. So
Caitlin, what's her name?
Yeah, she was very cute and very friendly. And I asked her to do the show. She's actually going to do this podcast, I think, in a couple of weeks, right? And so she was cool. So she's going to open it. Michael Vecchione, TJ Miller, and headlining it, Lewis Black. So that's going to be really, if you're in town, it's going to be a fun show. And I'll have more details as we get closer to.
Enjoy the veal, everybody.
Right. And let me tell you right now, when you've heard about a chocolate fountain in the past, this one is, cut pieces of dried mango, not just pound cake.
Yeah. Fondue. Here, let's real quick. We have a message from our buddy Ovo Cool Cat.
Oh, what's up, Cool Cat?
Read that before we get to the next thing. He says,
our member.
He says, yes, guys, I was checking out Tryst this weekend, and my favorite rule I saw was bareback is permitted, no GFE.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's a funny, that's a funny needle to thread.
Let's unpack.
I like that.
Let's unpack that. By the way, I know
there's
Ovio,
a lot to unpack.
I know where Ovio lives. I don't want to give the whole thing away, but it's a big city in New Mexico.
Oh, you guys
we talk to Albuquerque. I know. But I'm just
talking about strip clubs in Albuquerque.
I'm just being
on a weekly basis.
I just think it's funny because there's a big town in Albuquerque.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it's like Albuquerque is 500,000. Santa Fe is probably 100,000. And then it's Area 64. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think
and then it was the village where they built the nuclear bomb.
Yeah, it's just a town called Adobeville. Right, exactly. So what I think is interesting is just for the uninitiated, what that means is in Tryst, TRYST, which is a escort site.
It is a sponsor.
It is. Yep. Yeah. And they don't care how hairy your balls are, apparently. So, and again, I'm telling you, pick up this shit. It's wild. I haven't used the body stuff yet because I'm not quite ready. And before I go to LA, I'll give myself a little smooth down because I'm staying in a hotel with a bit of a pool scene.
Okay, nice.
And I believe I will be hosting a little bit of a pool party on Saturday. I have nothing else to do on Saturday. And so I've reached out to some friends of mine. I actually reached out to a couple of porn girls.
Fun.
There's a Maya. This is directly right at Ovio. Mm-hmm. Maya, Maya, Luana, Luanna.
Oh, yeah.
So she's like a buddy of mine. I haven't seen her in a long time, but unfortunately, she lives like down by San Diego, so she can't make it up. But so hey, I'm having a pool party, and she's not going to be there. What a!
Let us know who else isn't coming.
Yeah, exactly. Who else isn't coming? Janine Lindenmolder. No. So anyway, so you go on this Tryst, right? And it's an escort site, but not only escort, it's escort, it's full body sensual massage, and it's more or less bondage. So those are sort of the three things. And you go on and you enter your location, your zip code, whatever it is, and these independent, I'm going to call them what they say they are, providers, okay, offer their services, and they have to, obviously they pay money to Tryst. And the whole idea is, and it's supposed to be very inclusive. So if you look at the front of their website, they have a guy in a wheelchair, like as if he's one of the people. It's like it's like a cartoon image of a guy in a wheelchair. And they're very big on like binary and plurals.
Sure.
Which, by the way, that can go both ways.
Getting pronouns correct.
I don't want to be Emma Rose,
correctly gendered.
Yeah. They break it down and you can actually, you can go in the filters and you can really get it down to where the body types, I swear to God, I know all the body types.
Holy shit.
They have let me see if I can do it.
Let's get into it.
Average, curvy, BBW,
all right,
petite, and slim.
Is there a Drake video? That's what I would like.
I don't know. Tim Horton.
Tim
yeah. Okay. So those are the 5: average, curvy, slim, BBW. Right.
Raptors floor seats.
Go there. And then the other side, they have muscular. Yes, please.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, please. Toned. Okay. And pregnant. So those are the sort of body types that you can kind of go through. And so you can like click, you can go, I'd like somebody who might be muscular, might be pregnant, but is also could drop a few pounds, BBW. So it's going to bring up any of these women that describe themselves. That'll make quite an interesting Tryst search. They're like,
yes.
I guarantee it at Tryst HQ, they're like, oh, we got a wheelchair guy. This guy is
the red phones ringing.
We're definitely right. This is Tommy. I got a guy looking for somebody in Albuquerque who's a muscular 8 months pregnant woman who wants to do a bareback. But I'm interested. Here's what
I'd like to think there was like a dispatcher.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah, right. Fire up. Hey, how many Spirit Airline points we got? We got to send somebody. But they do a whole thing on there. And the idea is it's not like going to like BedPage or one of these other like hooker website things, because it all feels a little more, I don't know, like professional or certainly like provider friendly, you know? So you go on there and anyway, and we're spending way too much time on this, but there are pictures,
not enough.
There are pictures, and then it says photos, rates, availability, blah blah blah. And there's a couple of things that I find fascinating. I find it all fascinating, but what OVO Cool Cat is referring to is he went on there, and you can look at rates, and it'll go from like, I mean, some of them are really hilarious. They'll do like 10-minute video chat for like $40. They'll do a half an hour video chat for obviously more money, and then they'll do like a day of sexting. So for like, I know, right? How lonely are people?
Stupid.
So for like 100, but I guarantee people must do it. You know, they must. So for $100, you know, I agree.
Like a guy just trying to get a bunch in before midnight.
Yeah, right. You didn't use any of them.
Do these roll over?
Yeah. Can I save? Yeah. I guarantee it's in the bylaws.
Right.
It's like, listen, but it's like for 12 hours you do horny, you take horny chats.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Exactly. I would torture her though. It'd be 12 hours. I would just be like, is your mom alive? Text, send. Do you have roommates? Send,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Horny yet with a pizza emoji? Yeah, just like what? Just torture her for 12 hours. She's
like every 30 seconds.
Oh yeah,
every
30
for 24 hours.
Yeah, one of them is I just go, I am so with like 11 O's bored. I am so bored. And just like send it away.
Why? Wait, WYD question mark? Just a lot of like.
Yeah, just
what are you doing?
Yeah, just
what you thinking about?
Up late. She's like, why is it up late? It's 2 p.m.
You seem distant.
Yeah, exactly. Is this working for you? Yeah. Or just start sending weird punctuation, like 2 question marks and an exclamation point, or terrifying her, almost there, with like a big exclamation point and an emoji of a tombstone. Whoa, no.
Probably get blocked pretty quick with that.
I maybe must
talk.
As muscular and pregnant as I am, I'm getting a little nervous about this. So anyway, so they go through all this stuff, right? And typically, if you're just looking for the massage element of this, there's a lot of that video and texting shit, kind of at the top of it, but then it'll get into an hour massage, 90-hour massage. Then it usually gets into an hour Nuru, 90-minute Nuru, and that's pretty much it. But and when I'm thinking what OVO he probably went through the, the green door, as it were. And once you get into the escort part of Tryst, then it gets a little more. Then it gets to be like 4. And then I like how they name it, like 4-hour enchantment session.
Sure. Yes.
But the weirdest
Sexy
one
getaway
is like they do like a dinner date. And then it'll just say in parentheses, just dinner for $300.
Wow.
$300. So I guess I take you to dinner and just hope it works out.
Yeah.
And I look the whole time I'm looking across from her, I'd be like, for another $100, I could have gotten a bareback blowjob. What am I?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, how hungry am I?
Through calamari ring.
Yeah. I could have eaten the sandwich at home. Yeah. The lady,
Get creative.
How's your lamb shank? sitting across.
Yeah. I looked up, probably 6 months ago. We were talking about this. Spoiler alert, we've talked about this before.
Yep.
But every week since we've known each other. But I looked up one of my favorite gals, Ms. Yummy, who's based in Las Vegas. And I looked up, I was like, I wonder if she's on there, and then I wonder what her rate is. Surprisingly affordable. I want to say maybe $1,000 for an hour.
Yeah. Well,
right?
I mean,
not bad. But then she also had an option for $50. You could do a 5-minute video chat with her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
which I'm going to be honest, I considered.
Yeah.
Just to say hi. Like literally nothing. And that's where I would literally probably get into like, so what does your dad do?
Yeah.
I thought it would be very funny to do that.
Yeah. Is Yummy a Christian name? Are you the Yummies of
short for
Schenectady?
Yamatha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I know another Yummy. They live in the suburbs of Philadelphia.
Right. Their father was a sharecropper.
Yeah.
Any relation?
Yeah. Exactly. Did Donald Trump, did the migrants steal a black job from you?
Holy shit.
That was still politics for you folks.
Yeah.
So
she's got a black job.
So just to get back to it. So what Ovio Cool Cat is saying is in all of these sort of in the menu of services offered, what they're saying is bareback, which is, it's condomless sex. Okay. Which by the way, that seems like a lot to offer just out, you know what I mean? Like, I would assume that the provider is going to give me something at that point. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah. Almost like I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me.
Yeah.
Type situation.
And then
venereal disease.
And then it says no GFE, which is basically like girlfriend experience, which is a lot of times that's also on the menu. There'll be like an hour of sex for $1,000, an hour of GFE, where I guess they pretend to like it, and that's going to be
girlfriend. Yeah,
sure, and that's $1,500.
Yeah, I don't know if they know how my girlfriend is.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, exactly. A girlfriend experience for me is an hour of me trying to find the remote.
Sure,
am I right, people? Yeah.
What's for supper?
So just to sort of get in this for a minute. So what this provider was providing was the service of we can have sex together. And you do not have to use.
You can blast in my guts.
You can blast these guts away, or
maybe
pull out, whatever it is. But you don't condom. No, leave it home, okay? Because this is what we're doing. But I'm not going to act like I like it. So no girlfriend experience.
Smooching.
Yeah, we're not doing. Or I will give you a girlfriend experience with a condom. I wonder if that's on the table. Like that'd be funny. You know what I mean? Like she's like, all right, listen, put a condom on because we'll do it. And then I'll pretend that I'm your girlfriend, but take it off, and we're talking rape, or something. I don't know.
That's really the beauty of it is you're willing to sort of risk your life, but
it is very
no intimacy,
no
smooching, no.
And then there's also like there's some of them will offer like an 8-hour and I wonder if that's like a big fish in that world, like 8 hours, $4,000. You're like happy day.
I think there's always like the overnight kind of thing where I guess you're sort of it's just sort of like renting I guess a girlfriend.
You imagine like it's an overnight and she shows up and you hand her an Xbox 360 controller and you're like, are you ready? Have you ever played Mario Kart? You just like
Kart.
You jerk off immediately and you come in like 2 minutes and then you look over and you're like, oh shit, she's here for another 7 hours and 45 minutes. Fuck. I actually talked to one of these girls once, a girl that I knew that did exactly what we're talking about. And she said that there was a guy once that paid for her she was like a sugar baby, right?
Right.
And he paid for her to accompany him to Las Vegas for like a weekend. And she said the whole time she was there, only one time, and they had separate rooms. So that was part of like the deal.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
I need my space.
Well, I think if you don't set up parameters, I think parameters are better for like the client and the provider, because as the client, you're like, I don't know. Because like, let's be honest, do you really want to hang out with this girl for the whole weekend?
Yeah,
she's
personally, I would, if I were the sugar daddy, I would be, I would want my space, but I don't know if they're all like that.
You're at the Caesar's buffet and she comes back and she's like, can you believe they don't have crab stick, but they have crab? Can you believe? I like crab stick. I don't like crab. Crab stick is only haddock. I looked it up once. It's just pressed haddock. That's pretty good, right? Wow. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Like you've done some sugaring.
That's what I'm saying. So I guarantee if you're doing like a 2-day blah, blah, then you go, she says, okay. I wonder if it starts out with her being like, I want a private jet. I want my own suite. And it just ends up being like, we're on Frontier Airlines. Okay. You can't check a bag. You can carry a bag. And you get your own room, but they are adjoining and the door doesn't have to be closed, but it must be ajar. Mm-hmm. And I can come in whenever I want. And if I watch you sleep, that's okay. You're like, fuck, okay. I guess. I started off with a private jet and you must cover me in the finest silks of the Orient. You're like, So anyway, but what this girl said was she was there for 2 nights in Vegas. The guy was there for some kind of a convention. She said he was she said he was Indian. All right.
Okay.
All right.
It's all tracks.
Yeah. And she said the only thing that she did is that one time he showed up and he wanted to be pegged. Like he came to her room.
Wow, he had her on retainer, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
For if he had a hanker.
I am ready for it. I'm ready.
Wow, you really arrived. I feel like when you can just have a chick in the other room.
Hey, imagine. He calls her. He's all excited.
Room handle.
Yeah, all excited in his voice. I wonder if he took her shopping for it, and that was the part that was like the worst part. They walked into a sex shop in Vegas. I am here with my prostitute. I have flown her all the way from New York City to be my sugar girl. No bareback, but a girlfriend, yes.
Right. Okay, we got a follow-up from Ovo.
What do you got, Ovo?
Guys, I'm not weird, but I wonder how much for a girl to accompany me to an eating with the characters brunch in Disneyland.
Well, I think that falls under I think it's a pretty blanket weekend charge. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think it's less expensive if you're doing something like, for example, if you go dinner date and you set the whole thing up and you actually hit her up and you go, is it cheaper if we go to medieval times? Because there's also a show.
Right.
I'm taking you to dinner and a show, so it's not a little less of a thing. So I think it is very funny.
You might even get a gal to knock a couple of bucks off if they're a fan of Disney.
I wonder if you put in the keyword search like Disney and then it came up and it was like in her thing. She was like,
she was an enthusiast.
And by the way, if you're taking me to Orlando,
right,
I'm paying you.
Right. Well, you could be my Moana.
Yeah, that's what I call a BFE, a boyfriend experience.
A keeper.
Yeah, or you put even a bigger, like you put in like rope dropper in like the keyword search. You know what a rope dropper is, right?
Rope dropper.
Yes.
No, I don't think I do.
A rope dropper are people that get right to the entrance of Disney World, and the second it opens, they go right in. It's called rope dropping.
Ah, gotcha.
It's like and also
as soon as the gate opens, they're like fucking, they're there.
Typically, don't hold my feet to the fire on this one, but I think it's kind of like you also, because if you stay in a Disney property, then you get access to the parks like an hour earlier. I think that's right. Wow. But yeah, there's rope dropper, and the other end of it is like, I don't know, it's like firework watcher or something. People that close the place.
Loo.
So there's a way
they hang out all the way. They close the place down.
So if you meet another
stool putter upper,
another Disney head, watch Goofy with his head off sneak a smoke behind Space Mountain.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think when people are in Disney, when Disney people will often say to each other, like, are you a rope dropper or are you a whatever the other one is, like a late night or which one? Because you can't be both. Ha ha ha. Can't be both.
Well, I mean, you could be, but it would take some real dedication. Yes. You probably have to be a meth doer.
So what I think is also, just circling back to Tryst, because we can't not talk about prostitution for 30 seconds. But what I think is great, if you look at the availability, some of them will have a touring schedule, and the touring schedule to me is wild, because what that shows me is they're just like a journey woman. They just go around the country.
Yeah. Well, I think it's probably like being a comedian, right? Where you kind of like, I did that market. I do well in in the Midwest.
I wonder
sell a lot of mozzarella sticks.
I wonder if personal tragedy ever plays into that. Like you're like, oh, my mom's on hospice.
Right.
Do I tell people I'm in Lancaster?
Right.
Do I? I mean, I'm here anyway.
Right.
I
paid for the La Quinta.
Yeah, she's in hospice.
Yes.
And
hey, I got a couple messages here from Gustav. First, he says Ovo is 100% a creep. Which we don't care for that kind of thing.
Hey, Gustav.
But listen, he paid $2. So, and then he asked, Adam, did you ever arrange a Ray's deflowering, or did he keep flaking? Now, Ray DeVito. I don't know if you know Ray DeVito.
Are we crossing the streams here?
Is this like so?
This is like Ghostbusters?
Well, this is very much on the same topic.
And by the way, I am not unfamiliar with this. For the uninitiated, Ray DeVito is he's a regular on MLC. Is that right? He's a comic.
I think he was. Yeah, maybe he's back. I don't know.
Oh wait, spoiler alert! Kevin upset him.
They were right. Kevin had a problem with somebody.
Wow.
They were estranged, I think, for a while, but I believe he was back recently.
So would you answer the guy's question?
But yes. But it's very on topic that's why he's asking.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not upset, but yeah. So
you seem kind of
no, but I'm saying so upset. For Ray, I'm just trying to let other people know Ray DeVito. Yes. Adam was supposed to get Ray DeVito laid.
I wanted to get him a hooker,
right?
But yes, to answer your question, no, he absolutely would not. I even sent him a couple of links for out calls that were in the Astoria area where he was.
What are you taking him golfing or something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, no. So he didn't. No, he didn't took me up.
Is he a local guy?
I gave up. I was like, "Fuck it, dude. I can't even buy you a hooker."
Right.
But he hasn't been laid in like I think 3 years now.
Oh.
He's he
Adam,
goes back.
Are you sure he's not just married? Am I right, everybody? Am I right? Am I right?
Yeah, right. He. I know he's like part of the time in Cleveland, part of the time in Astoria.
Let's be candid. A lot of times, anybody can get laid, right? So somebody like, and I'm speaking just not about this guy in particular, but
right. No,
there is a thing where psychologically, like you get to a point where you don't even want to get laid. He may talk about it, but
and especially with all the apps and things, it's like you have to try to not get laid at this point.
Like, and also it's easier to complain about it and probably jerk off 2 or 3 times a week, and like that's kind of what you do, like so. There are people out there that like haven't got laid in years and they're like okay with it because there's enough porn and there's this and that. So he's clearly in his lane.
Yeah, there's no motivation. And I realized that after like the 3rd time of asking him, because the joke was, I tell you about how on like Roosevelt Avenue near me, there's all the hookers.
Yes. And
so I'm like, listen, there's tons of hookers. Let me buy you a hooker.
Okay. Well, hold on.
We were going to go for a little stroll.
Okay.
Maybe go to Chick-fil-A.
All right. Well, then let's take it a step further. Let's say you fire up Trist and you let him, you go, all right, listen, no budget. You pick your poison. And here are because I think in New York City, if you went to New York City right now on Trist and you put in escort and you just default all body types, pregnant, average, slim, curvy. Have I said pregnant yet? Pregnant. muscly pregnant. toned and pregnant. If you did that, there's probably easily 300 women on Trist right now, maybe more. I don't even know. But my point. So do you think? Because let's be candid. If you said to me, Brian, I'm taking you out to dinner, and I said, oh great. I said, where are we going? And you went, there's an Arthur Treacher's on 86th Street in Brooklyn, and they're the last one, and they do clam strips, and we're gonna take the train out there. But it's on me, whatever you want. I might be like, listen, I appreciate that. Right. But if you said, Brian, I'm taking you to dinner, we're going to Wolfgang Steakhouse down at the Four Seasons downtown. Are you in? I might move some stuff around for that.
Right.
Although I would go anywhere. Okay, that's too much. But so my point is that you may not have just
love.
So you didn't really present him. It wasn't like some blanket thing. It was like, hey, I'll pay for a streetwalker in Queens.
No. That was actually how I sweetened the deal. He was interested in being able to kick some tires. He actually was less interested. I sent him a link to these really hot girls in Astoria who were like fit Latin chicks that I basically what he said he wanted.
Okay.
So I even found it was on escort something.
Okay.
I forget what it's called. But so, and I was like, I knew he was doing MLC. I think maybe we were on the show together or something like that. He was buzzed up. It was late at night. I'm like, how about now?
Right.
I'll send you a hooker. All you got to do is just excuse yourself and she'll come right to your house. And he was like, nah, dude, it's too late.
Ugh.
And I'm like, okay.
What a bore.
Yeah, he's like a real, but
Go
he
ahead.
was somehow excited about coming to my neighborhood and like look like actually going on the hunt.
Sure. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like for a guy like that, and I don't know him at all, but like it might even be enough to like look at this, at the possibility of it.
Sure.
Go home, imagine a scenario in your head, put a towel under the door so your mother isn't here, and have a little sesh,
Yeah.
So that could be what it is. But these I don't know, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you went
at a certain point, I was insulted and I gave up.
Yeah, you're like, that's it.
I said,
Feh. You can lead a horse to water.
You
can't make him get a condom blowjob.
Lead a horse to hooker.
I think that's
you can't push him in
bareback. Yeah, I'd be like, no thanks.
Right.
Although I will say, in the gay community, not that I know a lot about this, but nobody wears condoms anymore. They all
they're all on PrEP.
It's funny. Yeah, they're all on PrEP, which we've talked about. It's the HIV medication. It's like the blocker for AIDS. But what's interesting is like nobody has AIDS anymore, but everybody has like everything else. Like
really?
Gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, I guess. I don't know, but everybody else has. And there's some sort of gay gonorrhea out there. Like that's really, it's like the gayest gonorrhea.
Yeah. Well, there's like a gay ringworm right now that was apparently like they found. It was the first case was like in New York City.
Okay, by the way,
and
do you know what the Nazgul are in Lord of the Rings?
No,
they're called ring wraiths. They're the ones that were the human kings that Sauron gave a ring to.
Okay.
And then it made them slaves to Sauron, and they ride around these black horses with wings on them, and they're looking for Frodo. So when you said ringworm, I immediately thought like a gay ring wraith.
Ooh, that could be fun too.
It's all there.
Lord of the Rings fan fiction.
Yeah, I was gonna say, listen, give me a super chat and I'll give you a link to my Frodo and Bilbo Baggins underneath in the halls of Lorien. Okay, so you were saying, sorry,
but there, I don't know,
gay ringworm.
Gay. Apparently, it was going around. Gay ringworm.
Yeah, it almost begs the question.
So watch out.
Would you rather just have AIDS or HIV, right, and just live with it and just take a pill every day and have no viral load and have to tell people, hey, I'm HIV positive, which apparently is not that big. I mean, it would be a big deal but like, and just not have any symptoms and just take a pill every day and you have HIV and that's just kind of your life and it's not detectable, but you have it. Or do you have gay ringworm? Like, because I don't even know what that is, but I'm sure it's bad. Like, yeah. I'm sure.
I guess what the reason there was some sort of article about it, but I guess the reason why it was a big deal was because you would get
it was some sort of It was some sort of pamphlet shoved under your door.
Go ahead. Given to me by my physician.
Yeah. Whoever lives here, we hear everything. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I think I found out about it because I had jock itch and I was looking something up and I found this article. I was like, well, pretty sure I don't have that.
Did you also scratch his back? Was he riding a horse?
Jock.
Was he the jockey?
But it was a thing because they were like, people were getting it and it was very rare.
Okay.
But then people were treating it like regular, I guess, ringworm and it wouldn't. People were just like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. And then they looked closer and they're like, we've never even seen this outside of I guess it was in Europe and Asia,
outside of gay cruises. Right. They're like, we see a lot of it on gay cruises, but boy, I'll tell you, again, people can do whatever they like, and I think that sexuality is, sure, as long as everyone's over 18. But I tell you that butthole is a real minefield back there. So yeah, and also now I just heard from some older boys in the schoolyard, monkeypox is back.
Yes, monkeypox.
Monkeypox is back, and it's like double monkeypox. It's
super
like,
secret monkeypox. Yeah,
it's like Planet of the Monkeypox or something. So there's like, and I don't know necessarily what monkeypox is, and I don't want to find out. But I feel like it causes some sort of skin disfigurement, right?
Yeah. Wait a minute. I'm remembering. Remember we had a guest? This was over a year ago. Your friend, he was like late in life gay.
Oh yeah, Nate.
Yes. Nate, I want to say Nate's partner, didn't he have monkeypox?
He did.
Pretty sure he had to be like quarantined.
Yeah, quarantined. And but they gave him a rubber ball to play with. Yeah, exactly. Nate's like, I really wanted bananas.
It was real like zany kind of
exactly.
zany kind of stuff.
Right. He put him on a unicycle and had him smoke a cigar.
But I think when we were talking, as sort of the conversation developed,
right,
he kind of said like, I haven't seen him in months, and we were sort of like, well, that's interesting. Why? It's like, well, I couldn't really be around him, I think, because he had monkeypox.
Yeah, well, I will tell you, no matter how much I love somebody and I'm looking forward to like seeing them, if somebody was like, look, I can't see you, and I pressed them and they were, you'll forgive the pun, cagey about it, then they were like, I have monkeypox. I'd be like, okay, get that straightened out.
Right.
Okay.
I mean,
I
say
love
what you will, the gays, I mean, when they fucking really get in there, I mean, that shit spreads. It's like when the internet was invented, it just like communication just exploded.
Are you saying that gays deserved AIDS because of their lifestyle? Is that what we're saying?
Not
here?
Explicitly,
but in more
they had it coming.
Gay cancer.
No, it's just when they get something, it fucking
spreads.
It gets around
wildfire.
Because you know the level of activity.
Not only that, but it's like something as relatively benign as gonorrhea, just by virtue of the proliferation, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Proliferation of the activities that would engender one to acquire gonorrhea. If you do, it seems like they do so much of it that they get like double and triple gonorrhea. You know what I mean? They're like, they're like, you ask a guy,
double decker gonorrhea.
Yeah, you're like, do you have gonorrhea? The guy's like, I wish. I have monkey gonorrhea. My gonorrhea has gonorrhea.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the one that
animal specific.
Yeah. Anytime they put an animal name in something, it sounds so much more sinister. Right. Like, do you have the flu? Yeah, I'll feel better. Do you have I have chicken flu. You're like, oh my God. you're like running away from them down the street. Yeah. I have horse pneumonia. You're like, oh no.
Never good when there's an animal.
They throw an animal
involved
at the top of it. Right. So yeah. But so just to get back to Trist for a minute. So I just, the whole idea that like a woman's life, or for at least I bet it's interesting, because I bet if this is what you did for a living, and you said, all right, listen, I'm going to treat this like I'm a comic. I bet some of these girls are funnier than, right? Exactly. Right. Yeah, I bet. Right. Hey, Ian.
Whole new meeting to Tight 5. Am I right?
Hey, Ian Findance. This must be where you can. You're not funny. I had nothing to go with it.
He makes up for his lack of humor with enthusiasm.
Yeah, exactly. Once you're like, what is he saying? No, that's not. No,
I don't know, but he sure is excited about it.
Yeah, he sure is excited. And that Delaware accent. Can somebody get a translator out here?
Right.
So what I'm saying is that. So imagine you're a sex worker, and there has to be people like this, and they look at a map of the United States, and they go, okay, I'm gonna go to Phoenix. From Phoenix, I'm gonna go to Albuquerque to Houston. You sort of break it out, and I guess after a year or two of like that tour, you probably pick up regulars, right? And then from those regulars, and in between your sex tweeting, that's exhausting. Can I just give you a bareback blowjob or whatever? And then so I'm saying, like, and I bet like you can make a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, I bet you really you could make, especially if you just kind of. What's that?
Hypothetically.
Well,
if I were a touring escort.
Yeah. If they were smart about it. Almost like I used to say, like my ex-girlfriend, like she was a dancer, and she would come home on a Friday night and she'd make like $3,000 or $4,000. But then she wouldn't go back to work again until she had $1. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Like she would just spend all of it until she had $1, and then she'd be like, "Oh, I have to go back."
$1 Bob.
Yeah, I got to go do that again.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, because the reality, there are those sex workers that are very enterprising, and they're like,
Yeah.
Your Joanna Angels, your Danny Danielses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where they're like, they're really going places.
And they just kind of put whatever their morality or they're, not, it shouldn't be an issue, but it is for a lot. They just go, all right, I'm going to do this for a finite amount of time. And after I do this, I'm going to veterinary school or something.
Or not even, I don't even know if morality is an issue. Like, Asa Akira is another one of those where she's like, listen, I'd be just fucking everybody anyways. I may as well own some rental properties.
But there are people that like sex workers that do this who realize they're like, I'm not encumbered by like religion. So that could factor into the decision to be like a touring Nuru massage woman.
Right.
Or whatever it is. I know. I'd be, afterwards you make small talk in a Comfort Inn. You're like, so how do you like Indianapolis?
Roadside Nuru.
Yeah. How's the traffic over here?
Yeah.
You okay. You imagine like you're checking into like a La Quinta hotel and you're just a girl in a hooded sweatshirt and under your arm you have a giant inflatable mattress and a tube of seaweed gel.
Like a gallon of oil.
So Mrs. X, how long will you be staying with us here today? 4 nights. Thank you very much. I'll be here for 4 nights. Okay, we have a continental breakfast, and she's like, can I have at all hours of the day and night strangers come and go with relative impunity?
Right.
Sure, I guess. So, may I have a room as far away from the rest of the hotel as possible? It's funny, how you can like set up a profile in like hotels, like she has like it on the app. And they put like special, you can fill it in. You're like, I'm a traveling Nuru escort / massage. Well, probably a massage first / escort thing. So, and also just to stay on top of this for a minute, remember the whole ManyVids thing?
Yes, please.
Okay,
please give us an update.
So in looking at these people are on Tryst. No, were they? Yes.
Several vids.
They were on, no, hold on. They were on Tryst, and that's how I found them. And it was some couple that did like shows they'd come to your house,
live sex shows.
Yes, and that is well, that's a thing now. Holy that's shit. Like a thing you can do.
Okay,
and let's just say if you're married and it's live porn in your house or your apartment.
Yeah, that's like very like
yes,
that's lofty stuff.
Right, I would ruin it. I'd be like, eat her cunt, eat her cunt.
You have like an open foil of like Jiffy Pop that you're fucking eating.
Right, exactly. I have like a warm Coke Zero.
Like weird snacks.
Yeah, exactly. Is that how you do it? You're good at this, you guys. Do you really love each other?
Dude, what I like to do is put the bunch of crunch right in the popcorn.
Yeah,
it's hot.
It's all there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, you guys do you guys
they block you?
Do you guys have monkeypox? Anybody over there? I've got a bunch of bananas. If you guys want bananas, if you have monkeypox. I'm going to throw that couch out. Just like completely have Asperger's.
Yes.
That looks like fun, but really dirty too. So anyway, so I found this couple because I was looking up because I'm going to be in LA and I always like to know what's going on Tryst in Los Angeles.
Just in case you want to have a live sex show, you want to know who to go to.
There's a bunch of them. There's probably right. If you went on,
you can't afford not to, what you're saying.
If you went on Tryst. And because there's 2 types of live sex shows. Okay. There seems to be the one where it's a good looking couple and they go, share in our well, no, I shouldn't say that. Let me back it up. They go watch our intimacy. So there's basically the type of sort of live sex show in your apartment or you go to them sometimes. That must be even weirder.
Right.
And go in there like there's some shelter dog walking around. You keep hearing somebody with a wet cough in the other room. You're like, is anybody here? You're like, my mother's dying. Shh, it's okay. She knows what we're doing. It's fine. This is how we pay for her. We can't afford hospice, so she's just going to die in that room.
Right. Don't mind her.
Yeah, she's fine. She might die while you're here. Will that get you off? Is that good?
Do anything for you?
Hey, you want to go look at it?
Is that a box you checked?
Want to go look at my dying mom before I fuck my girlfriend in front of you? Oh shit. I'm blind. Can you call me an Uber, please? Anyway, so there's the type of what I just mentioned, like boy and girl. Okay. And they will have sex with each other in front of you, which presumably you're allowed to jerk off, I would imagine, right?
I would think they'd almost be insulted if you didn't.
And then I would just bring Olympic numbers I'd be like 4,
Yeah.
6, or keep
Maybe
passing
5.
or keep passing notes like I'm a, keep like, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He opens it.
A little note.
Yeah. It's like a little, it's a Post-it. He opens it up and goes, it just says, call your dad. He's like, what? Call your dad while you're doing it to her. I bet it would be so weird if you called your dad right now.
You're like, you want to pull pranks, and stuff.
Another little Post-it. What does it say? Does her pussy feel good? I mean, yeah. I'm doing. Come on, can you? Who gave him a Sharpie and a stack of Post-its? You're like, I brought him.
I brought him from home.
Yeah, I brought him from home. I stopped at Staples on the way over here. I had the Lyft driver stop at home. Staples. Well, it's an Office Max. It was an Office Max. The only one I saw around. Sucker tits.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. There's like a couple that will do that, and that's what they do. However, there's another version of this where, and this tends to be like a line item in the in like the cost of things. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So for example, they might say, watch us have sex. Okay. That might be $400, maybe $300 if they're in Woodland Hills. I'm oversharing. And then they might have something else. And then there's like some dollar amount. Be funny if it was cheaper. You're like, huh, what? $200. But there's a dollar amount where you are allowed to engage. Okay. But, and this has got to get messy, no pun intended. If the guy is bi-curious. So
sure,
at a certain point, maybe this is for like, I'm gay, but I don't want to like admit how gay I am. So if I start off with a girl in the room and this is classic. Yeah. That guy put my dick in his. Yeah, he put my dick in his butt. I didn't even want to do it.
I was aiming for her.
Yeah. That horde has gotten in the way.
Okay, so this is really just kind of a
and that is the ManyVids
gay light.
Yes, gay training wheels.
Wheels.
Bunny. What do they call that? Bunny when you go to
bunny
like
slow.
Yeah, bunny slow.
I like gay. I'm writing that down. Gay training wheels.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like make a pizza with your skis so that you stop. Make a pizza with your skis. Right. So I found this couple, and they had like in their pictures of somebody, Tony and Jessica, I think it was. But it says, by the way, it says right in their name, like bi-curious Tony. By the way, I think if you're putting bi-curious in your name, you're not that curious anymore. Like you figured it out.
Yeah. By the time you're posting about
you're like, do I like this?
Bi-curious. Yeah. You should use like this emoji.
Yeah. So
the
not curious
sure emoji.
Yeah. So not curious, Tony. Yeah,
could be curious.
Yeah. Way into this, Tony.
Right.
Yeah. So
premeditated Tony.
So I was looking through the pictures, and in one picture, she's wearing, they were like they look like this kind of like wacky young couple that like she was wearing like, I don't know, like little pointed cat ears in one of them.
Okay. They were quirky.
There was just a lot going on in their pictures, a lot more than the typical tryst in the mirror, one, iPhone 7 flat, no flash photo, like they do themselves or whatever. So, and as I kind of scrolled through, again, no intention of engaging any of this really, this just interests me. I'm serious.
Listen,
I would tell you otherwise. I don't really care, but
sure
so
you would.
I got all the way to the bottom, and a lot of times with tryst, they'll have their contact information, and in some cases, they'll have their Twitter handle, their social media, their blah blah blah, and in other cases, they'll have their OnlyFans, and in this case, ManyVids. And so what I did was, and I know I'm kind of going over stuff we already talked about, but I clicked on their ManyVids thing, and it pulled up whatever their page was. And a lot of the same content on OnlyFans was over there. That should have been a red flag, but I digress. And then I was over there, and I saw all that content, but then they had some video stuff, and the video stuff was like nothing by yet. God knows I looked, but then they said the way ManyVids works is you open a membership and you have an account and it's free, but you sort of buy things a la carte. So, right. For example, if there's somebody you like, you could. So, for example, these people, bi-curious Tony and Jessica, let's just call it Tony and Tina's wedding. You can go on their site and you can buy for $5.99 a 20-minute video of her blowing a guy or whatever. Or they have an option for $12.99 a month. You can join their club. and you can join their club, and you can then be a member of the club. And it says when you become a member of the club, you get access to all of their content. You can't download it, but you can stream it. So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll give it.
Right.
I kind of felt like I was donating to the arts. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, a nice creative couple.
I'll be a patron of these shenanigans. So I did the $12.99. I signed up for it and promptly went to look at the club content. And the automated crawl in the middle of it said, special thanks to our new member. And it had my handle, like, at, of course, I'm so terrible. Like my handle is at Brian P. McCarthy. Like it doesn't even like, it's not like at Sex Thunder 499.
Yeah.
It's just my email address.
Right.
And it says that. And then to our new membership. And then I refreshed the page and it said amount of members 1. So I was the only member. But I still was like, all right, I'm the only member. That's fine. It's this in a weird way. This will make it even more personal. So then I clicked on there's a club tab, and I clicked on the club tab, and it just came up 0 media. So 0 video, 0, I don't know, 0 photos, just 0 media. And I gave it. I said, well, maybe they need to be notified. Maybe this is like they'll put it up kind of like when you go to a restaurant. You're like, I'll have the By Curious Tony, and they have to bring it out of the kitchen. So I said, I'll give it a couple of hours. I took the belt off of my neck.
Hold on. I'm realizing I maybe should have stopped you a while ago. This is the same? Is there more to this, or was there an update?
There's an update.
Okay, gotcha. Right. I was just making sure.
I'm not telling the same story twice. Right. What do you think? I have Alzheimer's?
Well, I mean, you are, but you're adding to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically what happened. All right, I'll get through this and we'll see what's going on.
We got a restaurant question too for you
because I'm sort of like I know I'm sort of like relaxing into
we
the story.
We got to get to our we got another show.
All right, I'm sorry.
This is already totally off the rails. We're like we got to be on a schedule.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry. I am lonely.
You can keep talking on the other show.
Okay, I'll talk on the other show.
Yeah.
So to wit. No content. I emailed ManyVids and they were like, we need a screenshot. We cannot even believe that there's a club. Send them a screenshot. They're in Lewes, Delaware. They came back and they said, listen, our policy is not to give you your $12.99 back, but we're going to notify the content providers and we're going to let them know that they need to put content on their club version of their page, right? Which, by the way, that's kind of like a day late, dollar short. Before you let someone make a club on your ManyVids thing, shouldn't you make sure the club has something that is club worthy? You shouldn't just be like, oh, you make a club, and then all of a sudden I join the club. There's no club, and that was my third email to them with another screenshot, and the subject line was, at this point, this isn't about the $12.99.
It's about making things right.
So they responded. Then they responded and they go, okay, listen, we've given you your money back. It's in your ManyVids wallet as a credit.
And I went,
oh, no. So I responded, this one I have a person's name.
So you want,
and I go,
cash money.
I go, Andrea, we both know that I'm done with ManyVids. Okay, Andrea. So I tell you what, just give me the $12.99 back and nobody gets hurt. And within like an hour, I got like 7 emails from ManyVids because I know they didn't want to give up that $12.99. They were like, listen, you got your money back. Okay. And I am so tempted to go on their page when I go to LA and I buy a session and they come over to my hotel room and I have a PowerPoint presentation. And I'm like, listen, if you're going to have a club, okay, right. Tony, put your pants on. This isn't going to be that kind of a session. All right, I'm done.
Okay, so Gustav has a restaurant. He said, Brian, sartorial question.
Sure.
Have you tried Luca Faloni? Luca Faloni. And if so, your thoughts. Looks like it's a fairly relaxed Italian brand that uses a classic, quite luxurious approach with a bit of minimalism.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
It sounds like
Gustav. Gustav wants to talk restaurants.
Short answer is no. We will
Luca Faloni. I haven't heard of it, but that's a little fancy for me.
I will check it out because it sounds like that should be in my wheelhouse. And as a matter of fact, I have a dinner coming up before I go to Los Angeles, which is rapidly approaching, and I haven't picked the restaurant yet. So maybe I'll go to Luca Faloni. I'm imagining.
Oh wait, no, sorry, it's a clothing company. Oh, he's saying.
Oh, okay. Well,
it looks fairly relaxed Italian. Oh, okay. brand
clothing,
luxury approach.
No,
okay. Is that I don't know what sartorial means.
Well, you know what's funny? Sartorial references clothes. Or at least that's style.
Gotcha.
No. But it was funny because I didn't want to embarrass him and be like, does he know that he's mentioning something that he's not using the word correctly? But
that's my fault because I just saw the Italian relaxed and I assumed he meant restaurants. Yeah. That's my bad.
You're like salad bar.
Oh, okay. So it's it's closed.
No. The only Italian stuff. I mean, Emil Zenga, of course, and then Loro Pina for cashmere.
Some nice. Looks like
it looks like good stuff. Linen. Oh, linen. Well, it's Labor Day is fast approaching. Yeah. Okay. Got to put that linen away. Coming up here.
Is it edible though? Is my question.
Anything's edible. If you think about it, and you can eat anything. So no, I haven't, but we will check it out.
Cashmere knitwear.
Oh, okay. Now is it because I will not. I'll do 3-ply under protest, but I'm more of a 4-ply gal. For my cashmere. And as a matter of fact, I had this really great Purple Label safari jacket that I got last year, and I got it right before I lost all the weight. So I really should have gotten like a medium or a large, but it's extra large, so it's huge. So I just had it tailored. I went in, but it's tricky to get it tailored because it has like a elastic in the middle and shit. So I just had the sleeves brought up. So because it was, extra large is not just for fat guys; it's for like taller.
Sure.
So it was. So I've made it. So anyway, we'll check it out. Cashmere is. I love. That's my thing, but it has to be 4-ply.
Right.
I'm not Filipino. Okay.
If only. Hey, we got to go behind. We got to. Okay. Let's do a quick plug, and then we'll do our members only show.
We're still doing the show. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. If you join as a member, how cheap is it to be a member?
$5. $5, and you get a free, or not free, but I mean, you get. I would say almost an hour's extra bonus content a week
for a week, right? Yeah. And then as a member, it's also archived, but only the stuff behind the. I hate to say the word paywall; it's annoying, but only that stuff is archived. So if you join, Ovio will tell you. It's just think about what life changing it's been for him. He's getting no girlfriend experiences, but he's getting lots of bareback sex.
Well, I mean we're not far off.
Stay off the monkeys
from girlfriend experience. So hit that join button.
Hit the join button.
If you join, and you can pop over and you'll watch the members only stream with us. And I put a little link at the very top of the the top of the chat if you want to, because they make it kind of tricky to buy on iOS. So
of course
that's the iOS link.
If there's an iOS link, that's it. Yeah, and I have a feeling it'll be a real private show.
I would say a real barn burner.
Oh yeah.
But we're just getting things that we're sort of setting the table. So if you want to join us over there,
trying to make it better trying to make it a better experience. You heard we have the disclaimer at the shop, the warning at the shop at the top. We have the music,
I'm about to play outro music too.
Fuck
Can you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And remember, on all the socials, it's pretty much Brian M Show. So we'll be back with the member show. Bye.
Bye. We got to hit the post. See you later.
Bye.